Hey, what's going on to all my gaming addicts and gameaholics? Welcome back to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast, a show all about gaming and other related news to give you that fix to ease your gaming itch. This is episode number 51, and today is August the 8th, 2022. I'm your host, Trey Turpin, and in this episode, we're going to discuss Sony pretty much making comments showing them pretty much being scared of the possibility of Call of Duty being exclusive to Xbox. We're also going to talk about Xbox Game Pass Family Plan being tested right now. And we're also going to talk about what we think about single player versus multiplayer games. Seems like people are starting to prefer one over the other. So, and of course, we have more to talk about. But of course, always, I have my brother Shane Turpin here with me. What's going on, bruh?
What's going on, bro? Man, glad to be back doing what we love to do, man. Keeping this podcast rolling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Couldn't wait. I know we were supposed to do an episode yesterday, but things happen, so we just get just a day late. So we're gonna go ahead and give it to you guys today. I've been looking forward to talk about this topic because I've seen everybody and their mama talk about the major topic that we're going to talk about with Sony making their comments. So I couldn't wait to hop on the podcast and actually share my thoughts and see what you thought about it as well. And the way the internet just exploded about everything that's been going on.
Guys, they went stupid over this.
Yeah, right. Like it's
Oh,
crazy. So especially during the summer, it's not too much news going on. So definitely everybody picked apart this one and made some valid points. So definitely want to share my points and what I think about the matter as well. But of course, before we jump in to the show, I like to go ahead and talk about what we've been playing and what we've been up to. So Shane, go ahead and shoot it to you. What you been playing this past week?
man, really? Honestly, for me, it's been a little slow, man. For real. But I have managed to play a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I have uh played, of course, that As Dust Falls. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got to play it as much. I kind of fell off of it for a minute just because of work, and I had a lot of things going on. Celebrated a birthday, so just had a lot of planning and stuff. A lot of stressful situations. Just trying to make stuff happen in small amounts of time. But everything worked out fine. We had a good time. But as far as game wise, like I said, so I played that here recently, the past couple of days. I've played Fall Guys, of course. I like to jump on that every now and again just to see if it's something different. I jumped on Fortnite for a second, but I didn't get to play. But I haven't
Oh,
been on it in about 2 seasons, maybe 2 seasons.
yeah.
So I was tripping. I was seeing this season. I was like, "What? This look okay. I need to get back on for a second and see what's going on." They completely switched it up. I'm like, they took
Mm-hmm.
took the screen and the menu to a whole nother level. I was like, it's just the possibility is endless. You can play any type of game. They just made it easier to access different games and different modes, and it looked dope. You know what I mean? It was tons of different modes I want to try. I did actually try out a couple modes. You know what I mean? I tried a couple death runs and or time runs or whatever. Whatever we did, that with death runs or whatever, and that's it really. But like I definitely look, you know, way more interesting. Also, I played a little bit more Elden Ring. I haven't beat it. I know I've been slow on this, y'all, but I don't have much time. But I promise I'm going to get to the end of it. I promise. Eventually, I'm vowed to beat this game.
You're a better man than me because
I
I,
got
I
to,
started
bro.
it and I
I
haven't
got
even
to.
like fully invested in it. But
I
yeah, that's what's
paid
up.
for it. I gotta beat it. I got to. You know what I
Right.
mean? I've
Yeah.
gotten so far. I can't give up now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so I dabbled in that a little bit, but only a little bit. Uh, what else have I played? I also started Watch Dogs 2.
Okay.
Just because I never played it. I haven't even played the first one, honestly.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
was just looking for something new to play.
Yeah.
And I don't- remember seeing when the first one came out, I wanted to check it out or whatnot. and I never had got a chance or whatever. Never
Mm-hmm.
did, never bought it or whatever. Same thing with number two, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just jump in, give it a try. So I started it out, started liking it. So far, I haven't done much, but what I have done, it's so far so good. So yeah, that's what I've been into, man. A little bit of everything, man. I like to try to keep a little diverse palette,
Yeah,
open. You know what I mean?
that's what I like to hear. I know the Watch Dogs 2, that's probably a good starting point. I know the first one, for what it was, I felt like it was a solid game. I know a lot of people were disappointed in it, but they seen the potential and the foundation that they implemented and everything. So I think the second one actually did way better, but I feel like the first one kind of like I said, it was controversy of like people thought it was going to be this type of game, but then it turned out not to be what a Ubisoft was promoting it to be, or at
Right.
least how the game should have looked. So I guess people just really didn't check it out as much. But I heard that second one is a step up, like way better than the first one. So I think you'll probably enjoy it if you haven't played the first one at all.
Right. No,
Um,
I haven't touched it.
and then Fortnite, I same way. I know a lot of people are jumping back in Fortnite. I was just reading a thread about how people were saying like, like they don't really care for Fortnite, but they haven't touched Fortnite and they jump back in it because they don't have like the build mode anymore. Like the no build mode. That's what they've been testing out. And they're like, ever since that mode, they're like, yeah, they actually like Fortnite again. They're like, yeah, I actually enjoy it. You don't have to worry about them people building them skyscrapers, metropolis cities in 2.6 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just a element that a lot of people just didn't like. And it's a good thing that they gave people an option on if you wanted to have that in the game. And it seems like it's benefiting. So it's actually got me tempted to want to play. And like you, I haven't played it in what feels like years now. So I'm sure it'll be a total shock when I see the
You
menu and
haven't
how.
checked it out? Oh, you haven't seen it?
Nope, not sent like
Oh
the.
man, you gonna
Yep.
be like, what, bruh? It's up, bruh. The option, bruh. Wait till you see it. You gonna be like, bro, they
Yeah.
stepped it up, bruh. They
Okay.
stepped it up. Yeah, actually, bro, I gotta give them a kind of congrats on like, cause I like the way they laid everything out. It's just more. It's just easier to find stuff, easier to
Mm-hmm.
find something new, to discover something different, to you know what I mean? And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like before you would go to the screen, it'll only be like the couple little options. It'd be like the three things you could choose from or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go to that little screen and it's 100 things to choose from. It's
Okay.
like different categories, you know what I'm saying? It's like different categories, the top of the week, Fortnite made, not then there's ones not made by Fortnite, and it's like trending
Okay.
ones and popular and whatever, so on, so in different categories, you know what I mean? And it just all type of different maps and modes, one v
See,
one, everything.
that's not that's not surprising to hear. Like it seems like Fortnite has always been, or at least Epic, I should say, people at Epic seems like they know what they're doing. When it comes to offering content and providing content and building upon what they had, and not just sticking with, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type mentality, or either even. I'm sure they have had some stumbles and setbacks, but it seems like they're just the people. I think you would have to look at, like, that's why I feel like Halo need to look at their type of structure that they have, when it's like when you have a community, a live service community to deal with and to provide for. Like I feel like they're always top tier, and they've always have been, and they've been laying the blueprint since then.
Exactly.
you
They've been
know
setting the bar for a long time, and
hmm
it's been not very many been competing for real.
No. So definitely that's good to hear. You made me want to jump into it. I don't know. I'm just like, it's Fortnite. I'm like, I'm
Or but
over it.
the mat they brought back the little ball with the little suction cup thing. They brought it back, but
Oh yeah.
it's like a little roller coaster thing or something
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
around the map or something. I don't know. And then they brought a couple other things back, and I was like, oh, okay, but it just looked different. I was like, this. I'll check it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the fact the element of where things switch up. You know what I mean? Because the game never stays the same. Like it always, at least the map anyway.
Yeah.
So it's always giving you something new to, you know what I mean, try, discover,
Hmm.
or you know what I mean, a new area to battle in or fight. I like that element. So
Okay. Well, definitely, and I'm surprised you haven't finished the your game as Dust Falls. Like, so that's
yeah,
crazy.
I just haven't had time because I said me and my girl play that together. So like we both
Hmm.
got to be. She got to be in the mood to play. I got to be in the mood to play. You know,
Hmm. Yep.
whatever. We both got to have time, and you know, sometimes
Yep.
it don't always work out.
Exactly. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Well, for me, what I've been playing, I just been playing that multiverses. Still, like that's my game now. At first, it was like
I
Fall
downloaded
Guys.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
haven't played. I haven't
Can't
played it though.
Can't wait to hear you when you check it out. I know it's like it's the game I usually just hop into if I got like a good 20 minutes to spare or something like that. I jump
Right,
in and play
right.
some matches on that and stuff. It's very, very, very addicting for me, and I really enjoy it. And I think it's a well made game. Just you just still in the early stages, so we just got to wait and see where it goes from here. I've been playing that. I know Far Cry 6 was free over the weekend. I actually started that. I've been really anticipating on playing that game. I remember when it was announced, the whole location and the protagonist and like just the whole vibe of Far Cry 6, it really intrigued me. So, but then when the reviews came out, I know people were saying like, oh, it's still the Far Cry formula. Nothing's really changed since Far Cry 3. It's like, man, that's what made me like I was burnt out on them because it was the Far Cry formula. You know what I'm saying? So I just been hesitant on picking it up or trying it out or anything like that. But since it was free, I was like, hey, why not? Went ahead and played it. And of course, I've only played like a few missions, I would say, and I'm really digging it. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe time has passed where like, I'm not really burnt out on the formula that I'll be able to tolerate it for what it's worth. And then the story seems to be pretty dope as well. And like I said, the location, the island, and everything just seems very, very like that's my type of vibe. So I've been playing that. Um, and that's about all I've been playing. I know my boy, he's been wanting me to play. Have you heard of a game called VHS? Video
Mm-mm.
Horror Society. Yeah, it's this asymmetrical game. If you've heard of like Dead by Daylight or the Friday the 13th game, where it's like 1 versus 4 or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
one person plays the monster and then there's like 4 survivors.
Right,
It's
right,
pretty
right.
much a game like that. And me and him kind of share the interest of like I think asymmetrical games are dope as heck. I just never really fully invested in a game. Like I think one game that I feel like that needs to make a comeback is Evolve, like where you play as a monster. I think we talked about it on the show. There's one person that plays as a monster. There's like 3 different stages. It starts off as like a baby state, and then there's like 4 hunters, and you're in this arena, and like the hunters are trying to hunt down this monster while the monster is like a baby and it has to like feed on other animals and like stay hidden and like wait to pretty much evolve, and then it levels up, and then like the hunters want to get to it before it evolves to the any bigger, and then it's more powerful to take down. And it's like the hunters, like the beast would see like would run across birds and the birds would fly off in the map, and then the hunters would see the birds and they're like, oh, the monster's this way. And it's just I don't know, I could go on and on about it. I'm sure you guys
Right,
know as
right.
well. But like that game just seemed hella dope. But for some reason, like it just didn't do good. I heard it was like a bunch of balancing issues, content issues, so the game just pretty much died as soon as it launched. Um, but pretty much I've always had this interest in asymmetrical games, and he's really trying to get me to get in. He knows that I like those type of games. We both kind of share that thing with like Evolve. We wish it would come back. Somebody would get another stab at it or make a Evolve 2. But he's really been big on Dead by Daylight. I think he played the Evil Dead game that came out, which is also asymmetrical. Like, so this is a free game. It's on PC. I downloaded it on Steam. It's called VHS, Video Horror Society. He said it's free, and he's trying to get me to play that. So maybe after we wrap up the podcast, I'm gonna hit him up and see what's going on. And hopefully that's a game I'd fall in love with, or at least a style of game. Because like I said, the asymmetrical games is so intriguing to me. I've been wanting to jump in Dead by Daylight because they're doing so
Wow.
many crossovers. Like they got Resident Evil crossovers and Silent Hill crossovers and Scream and Halloween and Friday the 3rd, like just all kinds of crazy stuff. But none of that, enough of that ranting about what I think about asymmetrical games. But that's all I've pretty much been playing. But before we go ahead and jump into the topics here, was there anything else you wanted to mention that you might have forgot about?
Nah, man, I got covered it.
Okay, I'm over here trying to get my camera back focused. There we go. Okay, it's good enough so far. But of course, I have some housekeeping to go over before we jump into the comments here, or the main topics. So so before we go ahead and get started, if you guys would like to help support the show, go ahead and subscribe to the Gamers Anonymous Podcast YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date when new videos drop. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment. For our audio listeners, make sure to subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to stay up to date for new episodes. Also, rate and leave a review, which would help the show out tremendously. On behalf of The Gap, a big thanks to everyone for continuing to show love and support. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the main topic of the show here. Like I said, this was everything that everybody talked about over the course of this past week, which is, it seems like Sony is nervous about this potential acquisition that's going on right now with Microsoft trying to acquire Activision Blizzard. All right, so I have an article here for you guys that I'm gonna pull up. If it will pull up. Oh, forgot to share my other screen for you guys. Here we go. All right, so this is a article that's on Video Games Chronicle .com. So the article pretty much states, it says Sony says it believes Xbox owning Call of Duty could influence users' console choice. So pretty much the topic that everybody was talking about, Sony's over there in Brazil, they're over here. It looks like the legal actions are in Brazil right now, going over their regulatories and things like that, trying to see if this is something they should approve or not. And a bunch of different companies, including like Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and everybody, Ubisoft, they all been putting in what they think about Microsoft trying to purchase Activision Blizzard. And Sony went ahead and spoke peace, but it really wasn't peace. Seems like they were trying to sabotage the whole thing with their comments about it, saying that Call of Duty alone is enough to influence people to choose the console that they want to play on. All right, so go here and jump into the topic. So it says that Sony's response, transcribed by Video Games Chronicle, mostly outlines the current state of AAA game development for the Brazilian regulator. However, large portions highlight the importance the PlayStation firm puts in Call of Duty, a franchise which claims influences users' console choice. So bear with me here. This is a pretty lengthy article, but it's definitely well worth it if you don't know anything about it already. In its questionnaire answer, Sony calls Call of Duty an essential game, a blockbuster, and a AAA type game that has no rival. According to a 2019 study, the importance of Call of Duty to entertainment in general is indescribable, the company said. The brand was the only video game IP to break into the top 10 of all entertainment brands among fans, joining powerhouses such as Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and The Lord of the Rings. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. Sony went on to explain the huge resources Activision puts behind Call of Duty and the core reason why it believes the first-person shooter series is unlikely to be rivaled by a competitor. Each annual Call of Duty release takes around 3 to 5 years to develop. As Activision releases one Call of Duty game per year, this equates to an annual investment of hundreds of millions of dollars, it explained. Approximately 1,200 people work on each version, and another 1,500 are involved in publishing and distribution. Thus, Call of Duty alone has more developers than most game companies employ across its entire development portfolio, including AAA studios. Also, given its plans to recruit 2,000 additional developers by 2021, Activision probably expects Call of Duty to become even more successful in the future. All right. Now, these are all words from Sony representatives, stating their case on this acquisition. All right. No other developer can devote the same level of resources and expertise in game development. Even if they could do that, Call of Duty is overly entrenched so that no rival, no matter how relevant they are, can catch up. Sony went on to note that Call of Duty has been the top-selling game for almost every year for the past decade, and for its genre, it's overwhelmingly the best-selling game. It is synonymous with first-person shooter games and essentially defines that category, it said. This is also demonstrated by player engagement on social media. Call of Duty has over 24 million followers on Facebook versus 7 million for Battlefield, and over 12 million followers on Instagram versus 2 million on Battlefield. It added, to say the least, players would be unlikely to switch to alternative games as they would lose that familiarity, those skills, and even the friends they made playing the Call of Duty games. Even in weaker years like 2021, Call of Duty still managed to outperform most other games by a considerable margin. Call of Duty Vanguard, for example, was widely regarded as weaker than previous year's titles, but was still one of the best-selling games of 2021. In other words, even in a bad year, players remained loyal to the brand and continued to buy the game. In its first response to Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard, published in January, Sony said it expects Call of Duty games to remain multi-platform due to contractual agreements. Microsoft's head of gaming also subsequently confirmed his intention to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation platforms once Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard is completed. However, it was later claimed that Activision Blizzard is contractually committed to releasing only 3 Call of Duty games for PlayStation consoles, the next 3, including this year's Modern Warfare 2. The Call of Duty series is regularly among PlayStation's most popular games. Last year, the series was both the first Vanguard and third Black Ops Cold War best-selling games on PlayStation in the US, according to NPD. All right. So that's pretty much what the article had to say about the matter. Now, I know that there were comments, pretty much Microsoft had comments regarding what Sony had said or what anybody else had said about the matter, pretty much saying that, the Activision Blizzard games that they're going to acquire really are nothing special, pretty much, and they're just, pretty much pleading their case on why this acquisition wouldn't really change much, because Call of Duty still have competitors like Battlefield, they still have competitors like Apex, they still have competitors like Overwatch and Rainbow Six and other games like that. So there's definitely competition out there, and Xbox was just trying to please their case. But Shane, I'm gonna throw it to you. this whole article and what Sony was pretty much saying and things like that, like how do you think this makes them look, and do you blame them for saying what they said? You're muted.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
Well, first off, that was a lot to take in. Second off,
Yeah, it really was.
man, it's kind of a bad look for Sony. I feel like, for real, it's a bad look. It just shows that they're afraid, that they feel vulnerable, that they're either, and really, but I just think I don't think they're really afraid of losing Call of Duty. I think they're just afraid of losing that revenue. They're not
Yeah.
really stressing Call of Duty. They're stressing that bag. They're
Yeah.
stressing the fact that that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? To coming their way, which they're still going to make money off of it, but they're worried about
Mhm.
it going exclusive and them not receiving that bag. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what they're in fear of. But so I mean, are they wrong for doing that? Mm, I can't say they're wrong. Would I have chose this approach? Probably not. I think I would have tried to. I would have fought back with my wallet. You know what I mean? Like I would have tried to acquire them myself, or tried to jump in and acquire something else. Because my thing is this: this exclusivity thing and this purchasing studios and all this stuff or whatever. Like Sony's been doing that stuff for a long time, buying exclusive rights to
Yep.
games for a while now, a
Yep.
long time. You know what I mean? And it's been totally fine. And they could have went out their way and purchased these studios as well, but they did not choose to do this. Instead, they just did the exclusivity deal with them, and eventually, it would come to other consoles, and sometimes some stuff wouldn't. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mhm.
but so I mean, I just look at it like it's all fair. You know what I mean? Like what's the difference?
I
You
mean,
know, in
I
them trying to buy an exclusive product, except
it's
for they're trying to own it.
I guess it's a business or it's the difference is that, like, okay, you see how in the 360 generation Xbox went ahead and had the exclusivity rights of being pretty much the console of choice to play Call of Duty. They ended up getting like the DLC first,
Right,
the
right, right,
betas first and stuff, and now it's vice versa. PlayStation has that now. There was a contract there, that it could end and then PlayStation could slide in. Once Xbox owns that, there's no
right. It's
chance of
over.
that ever happening again.
Right,
So that's the difference. And like you were saying, like every people that I've been seeing online and other podcasts, they talk about, they're pretty much saying the same thing. Like Sony's been like, it's okay for them to do it, lock down
right,
special exclusives, like a good example is that Final Fantasy VII remake. Like when that game was announced, it was coming to PlayStation, and I think it was just PlayStation. I don't know if it's out for PC yet. It might be, but it was pretty much a PlayStation console exclusive. And at the bottom it said like exclusive for at least a year, like letting us know that it was going to come to other consoles. And that was in, I want to say 2019 or 20, or think 2020. It's 2022 now, and it's still only on PlayStation, even though the box art showed that it was only going to be a year exclusivity.
right.
So it's like their money hatting some things too, keeping things off of the competition as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and they're just scared. There's a good example on what I think. I know I said it on Twitter, which this kind of sounds like, um, this is just the first stage of them. Of course, they're not going to agree with it, just like how when Sony had all the exclusives on lock last generation, Xbox was trying to make it, they were saying like, oh, exclusives are bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Oh,
right.
the exclusives are bad. This, that, and the third. So they went through that phase, but then it got to the point where it was like, okay, they got to buckle down, put their money and efforts into securing exclusives and just doing better, instead of just trying to talk them down and things. Like, I feel like PlayStation is going to do that now. PlayStation was relying on Call of Duty, because you see, before they even had the Call of Duty deal, it was still with Xbox. And when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One launched, PlayStation 4 had Killzone, which was supposed to be the Call of Duty or the Halo killer. They were still making Killzone games. They were still trying to do first-person shooter games. But the minute that they got the Call of Duty rights, they stopped making Killzone games. You know what I'm saying? They stopped worrying about multiplayer games. They started focusing on single-player games, which is a blessing, because we already know we'll get to that segment here in a little bit. But it seems like PlayStation went ahead and just abandoned just multiplayer games, and just pretty much, wanted to just rely on third-party games for multiplayer.
They got comfortable. They felt like they had the number one shooting game in their pockets, and they was like, we don't need to have another one.
Boom. Now, I mean, I still think it's going to remain multi-platform, but just the simple fact, they even know, there was an article or something saying where, like, Sony was even talking about Game Pass being, a bad thing. Like, it was taking over like 70% of the market or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're even worried about, okay, even if it is coming to PlayStation, we charging $70, and yet they're getting it for free, or not, they're paying $15 a month and getting it on Game Pass day one, day and date. So like you said, it's more about that revenue that they're going to lose, for sure. That's first and foremost.
Definitely.
But then it's also, they ain't got nothing to try to recuperate that money that they're going to lose, and fan bases. Oh, so now they're not, people getting it on Xbox, they're not going to be paying for PlayStation Plus. You know what I'm saying? They about to lose all kind of people, not going to go out and flock to buy a PlayStation. You ain't going to find a Series X on the shelves no more, but you're going to see a PlayStation 5 on the shelf now, pretty much,
If they can keep them, if they can get them, produce.
Like, because that's already happening. People are buying, people are so sold on Xbox's future, and it's so close. It's not even here yet, but it's so close. People are already betting on that future. They're buying the Series S. You know what I'm saying? That's outselling the Series X and the PlayStation 5, every other week, every month, or what have you, because people are trying to get into that promise that Xbox is setting up. The only thing we're waiting on Xbox's side is the games. That's the only thing. They already have everything set up. Everybody sold on the idea. That's why Sony went ahead and started their PlayStation Plus. Their new PlayStation Plus. Trying to do their, you know what I'm saying? Like, they
did not want to do that.
No, they still saying they don't want to do it, and that it's not viable. And I'm like, I play my PlayStation way more now that y'all did that service. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, but anyways, like, this is just, to bring it back in. This is just pretty much, like you said, that this is comments that just shows that they're scared. They're nervous. They're seeming weak. They don't seem like, hey, you know what? We're going to bring back because people have been asking for a new SOCOM. People have been asking for a Killzone, or come out with another Resistance game. Like, they feel like they've tried that and it never caught steam. It was always Call of Duty, Halo, or Battlefield, that they're just like, they abandoned it altogether. So like you said, once they had that Call of Duty deal, they thought they had the Call of Duty franchise in the bag, and they ain't have to worry about nothing no more. Well, now it's time to wake up, and they have to fight back, just like how Xbox had to do the same thing with them sounding weak, that exclusives are bad. And then
boy, were they wrong.
Yeah, boy, were they. Here we go. They're making the biggest game changers in the business right now. All because PlayStation put them in that corner. So now it's PlayStation's turn. So I didn't know if you had anything to say. I know I went on a little rant there.
Nah, bro, you pretty much hit it though, for real. Like, That's what it is, man. They just scared of losing that revenue. When you
Hmm.
take the number one game being sold, number 1 and 3 game being sold on their console,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They want all that, bro. And then if it's coming on Game Pass first, even though they're trying to sell it, you don't think they're not going to lose some revenue there
Oh yeah, yeah.
just by it being offered free first on Game Pass, and you probably get all the DLC first,
Oh yeah.
all that type stuff
Oh
first
yeah.
for free. People are
Probably.
going to
Yep.
buy Xbox just to play Call of Duty.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
Like, like that's why I said with what Sony said, they're not wrong.
they're not
You
wrong in
know.
a sense, but I just feel like it's not going to. I don't feel like it's going to disrupt the industry in a way to where like it's going to cripple Sony or it's
Yeah.
going to cripple another Nintendo or something like that. I don't think it's going to cripple them, but it's going to hit them. It's going to hit them.
Yeah. It's definitely going to hit them. Like if Xbox One was able, or if Xbox was able to survive out of the Xbox One generation, how bad they did that gen, like PlayStation will be okay not having one game come
Right.
to PlayStation for a cheap price day and date, pretty much.
And they're looking into buying other studios as well, acquiring
They
other
have
stuff.
Destiny. They just
So
the Bungie. The
right,
acquisition for Bungie just went through a couple weeks ago. They are
right,
finally a part of the PlayStation family. So it's like they have a first person shooter, the ones that arguably they created Halo and gave us the glory days of what Halo was, and now Destiny, a lot of people love that and it's a phenomenal game. You pretty much saying that they won't stand a chance against Call of Duty. If they created a new first person shooter game, like, come on now, they just like you said, boiled down to money.
right.
All that other stuff that we said, yeah, that's probably
It's
true
hard, but
too.
it is hard to make another Call of Duty
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
on something of that scale, something of that popular, that massive. You know what I mean? Like it's some Call of Duty diehards out here, bro. It's
Yo,
some,
I
I
know.
know some people that play nothing but Call of Duty from sun up. You know what I mean? To night,
Hmm.
like every free minute of the day. That's all they play. COD. I'm like, man,
Yeah, I don't blame them. So, but that's that's all I really wanted to say about the matter. I do think that this is, like I said, ultimately, this is from what I was saying. This is just the first stage, of just them realizing that they're probably not in the position that they were in before. And, like I said, let them get everything off their chest. And when things do come around, they just gonna have to come hard and just do what they need to do. Like I still feel like Call of Duty is gonna be on there for a while. They're not gonna take Call of Duty off of there. If they do, I'll be surprised, but not too surprised. But uh, like I said, they're just gonna have to buckle down and get the business, just like how Xbox had to buckle down and acquire studios and get franchises and exclusivity rights and things like that. So anything else you wanted to say before we jump to the next topic, bro?
nah, man.
All right. All right, so the next topic that we're going to go ahead and talk about, it seems that Xbox Game Pass family plan is being tested in a couple countries right now. Now, this is a feature that a lot of us, or a lot of just gamers in general, have been asking for. Like a lot of people are fans of Xbox Game Pass, and they went ahead and expressed how they wish that there was like a family tier where they can pay a certain amount of money and be able to allow access to at least a family of four, if not more. um just to make it a lot easier for people's wallets, and people who have families and things like that, instead of paying $15 each for every family member. Like that's outrageous. you know so we have a article, or I have an article here for you guys that's going to kind of pretty much shed some light on this. So it looks like it might be coming sooner because it was teased earlier in the year. So, but it looks like it's actually being tested out now. So let me pull that up for you guys. All right. So now this is a article that's on theverge.com. So it pretty much says Microsoft starts testing an Xbox Game Pass family plan. All right. So go here. So it says Microsoft is starting to test an Xbox Game Pass family plan that will allow subscribers to share their benefits with other people. A preview of this Xbox Game Pass family plan is available in Colombia and Ireland today, and testers will be able to add up to 4 to their subscription as long as they're in the same country. Starting today in Colombia and Ireland, Xbox insiders can begin to preview a plan that allows multiple people to share Game Pass Ultimate benefits, explains Tyler Mitlider, butchered his name, senior technical program manager at Microsoft. This makes it even easier to play the best Game Pass games with friends and family across console, PC, and cloud by enabling you to add up to 4 people to your subscription, all with their own unique access to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate games, content, and benefits.
Yeah.
Right. It says testers in Colombia or Ireland can sign up for an Xbox Insider preview for a new Xbox Game Pass Ultimate plan today in the Microsoft Store, and joining the preview will convert existing time remaining on a plan to a new plan based upon the monetary value of the old membership. So if you have a full month of Ultimate, it will be converted to 18 days of membership on this new plan. Users in Ireland are currently being offered a preview version of this new family plan for 21 euros per month. I think that's euros. That's not euros. Let's see. So once testers have signed up to this plan, they can then head over to the Microsoft account page to send 4 invites via email or generate links to share with friends and family. So it pretty much just is like an email pretty much that they get. It says, hi, Tom, letting you know, like this person is sending you an invite to their pretty much Game Pass membership, and you have until such and such date to accept it. So that's pretty much what it would look like if you were getting an invite from a family member. And then it says Microsoft has been rumored to be contemplating a family plan for Xbox Game Pass for quite some time. And this preview shows it's getting ready to test how Xbox Game Pass Ultimate sharing would work more broadly. Microsoft currently offers Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass for $9.99 per month. Neither includes online multiplayer capabilities, but you can upgrade to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $14.99. And this unlocks Game Pass for console, PC, EA Play, access, and online multiplayer. All right, so you already know, Shane. What do you think about this? Like I said, we've been hearing about a family plan for a while now and what we'd want from it and things like that. What do you think about this information and this testing that's going on for Microsoft?
I mean, hey, it's dope, man. It's dope. It's being able to put Game Pass in more people's hands at a better price. You can't complain at that, man. You can't beat, you know what I mean? I mean, this isn't for everybody. This is for, the people that need something like this. Because for my instance, where we just have one console, even if we had 2, I feel like I could game share or like, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. She should be able to play the same games on my console as long as I'm signed in. So where I have it. And so she plays everything that I have, you know what I mean, on Game Pass anyway. So in that instance, I feel like we would need another pay for an extra subscription, right?
Yeah.
Like it would be somebody who is, I guess, just has their own console or maybe in a separate household, or, if you want to have a different account than your kid or whatever, for whatever reason, and you don't want them having to be able to sign into your account and access your account, every time that they want to also play every game, that would make sense to get it, and to be able to get it if you get more than one or whatever. And just the fact to be able to get it at a cheaper price, you can't beat that. My thing is, I wonder how they're going to do it. Is it just going to be one set price for the family plan and you can add 4 people? Or is it going to be like for every person you add, it's this much extra or this much off? You know what I mean?
Have you heard anybody or read anything about how it would be. I
No,
remember hearing, I I don't know. I haven't
but
really read
I'd say
into.
it'd probably be the one price for
Yeah,
3 or 4 people.
well, that's what the one, I think it was on GameSpot or something. They pretty much said, yeah, let's say it was like $25 or something like that. They were just saying
What?
how no, they're,
Oh,
25,
okay,
thirty
okay. Let's just
dollars.
say,
They're just saying it's like 25, $30, and then you're able to add up the three family members or something like that. It something about it adding up to like it was like pretty much $5 a person extra or something like that. I I was just that was just the only pretty much price assumption that I got was from that video that I watched. But I have no idea. I don't know it from what this article was saying. It sounded up to 4 people. So it's you plus 4 people. So that's 5. Like, so
nah, I
that could
say four
be,
total. I say four
yeah,
total.
I say 4 total too. But it said you can invite up to 4.
Oh yeah, it did say you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So that's 5 total account.
So I don't even know like how much that would be. I'm gonna do it right now.
We got to
Times
get a
5.
price until they announce the
That's
price.
$75 right there.
Right,
15 per person for
30,
$5.
60, yeah, 75. Yep.
Maybe it'd be, I don't know. I don't even, and that's a month.
Right.
So, shoo-wee, I
That's
don't
what
even
I
want to think
said.
about. I don't even want to think about it, to be
About
honest.
40, $50.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's on a, yeah, I was thinking like if it's 75 that they could be making individually a month, and then you think they're gonna cut it down to 40, they're gonna lose $35.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. People. I don't even know. I'm not
Yeah,
there yet.
because I feel like,
That's a bill at this point. That ain't a subscription. That's a
but,
like what?
but see, you're looking at it as you're paying that much to invite you, but you don't need to do that though. If it's somebody,
Yeah.
if you're somebody that already paying for 3 accounts.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Then I could see
Okay,
that
then
being.
why would that? Then that's a no brainer, right?
Hmm.
Okay, right. So that's what I'm saying. But you know what I mean? Unless you need multiple accounts, there's no really need. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If
But
you're just you and you know what I mean? Like, I
I
don't feel
mean,
like I really see needing is people like people with kids and they want their kids to have a separate account and be able to access it, I guess, without having access to their account. That's really all I could see.
when I look at, I'm sure this is probably a bad example, but I know I'm paying like for my Apple Music. I think it's like what it is. I think it's like it's like $10 a month, you know, and then it's like, but for family, that for one person, $10 a month. But then for family, I think up to 6 people or whatever, it's $15 a month.
Right.
So it's like
But that's
five
different, though.
dollars. I understand you pretty much, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a
they
little
could be
different.
for 6 people, that's $10. They losing out on $60, $70 right there, but you just charging 15 a month. That's where I'm looking at it too. Like, that's what pretty much what you're telling me. Like, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying like, because that's what you were saying, like they're gonna have to lower it down to like, okay, yeah, it's probably 15 a person. I could see no more than 40. I can't. I don't know why 45 is just jumping out at me. Like, I don't know why 45 just seems like a decent amount, but I'm just sitting there thinking like that's a bill at my point. Like, when you get these subscription services, you're thinking they're like, yeah, it's a service because you could pay, cable. Like, I'm just giving a cable as an example. We was paying like so much for cable, and it was like you could pretty much get it in every room, and it was that one set price. It was the same price for if it was just for one room, and you probably had to pay extra for like the set top boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just
It was
feel
the
like
fee per box. Yeah.
mhm,
$3 fee, check your bill. $5 fee, check your
I
bill.
did. I just I don't know. I just, and like you said, yeah, if I was already, but you made a good point. Like if I was already paying one for me, one for my wife, one for my son, you know, that's already $45 right there. And then you're telling me for $45, maybe potentially less, I can add two other people. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely, you already know I would have been like, yeah, I might as well pay $40 and I'd be like, hey, mom, you need you go ahead and get an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Go hook it up. She be on her computer playing solitaire, you know, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with this subscription. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I could definitely see it being a thing. It's definitely something I would want. I know my son is probably gonna be a gamer. I mean, I'm not saying he will be, but I mean I am, but you know, I just feel like he's already interested in games. Um, my wife, she don't really play. She'll play my games, like you said. So that's just at least two. I don't know if this family plan will really be worth it unless we all work something out and we split it amongst us. You know, me, you, and whoever else. You know what I'm saying? But
It,
like,
it still really wouldn't be worth it, really. I feel like it'd be more of a hassle.
mm-hmm, yeah,
Because what, for us to save $5?
yeah, pretty much, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. That's pretty much out of all of this what we're saying. It definitely seems like the price is the major selling point of this.
right. That's what you need.
Like
Right.
this is right. Yeah, the family. Yeah, being able to pay one price for all your family, but it's like how much is that price? You know, I don't know. I could see anywhere from $45 to $60. To be honest, I don't know why. It just seems like I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is something I'm not an analyst on. I have no idea. I'm hoping to hear more about it because if they're testing it, it sounds like it's going to release sometime soon. Hopefully, you know, maybe it'll come over to the States eventually. I wonder why they chose those two countries. You know,
No clue, but eventually they'll roll out more. You know what I mean? If they're
hmm
testing it already, it's pretty much set to roll out. They're just fixing all the bugs and kinks and seeing how
hmm
people, take to it, doing,
hmm
seeing how
Yep.
everything runs, make sure everything goes smoothly.
I'm,
And once they
I'm,
feel like it's up to par, they'll release it to everybody.
I'm sure it might pretty be cheap because if you think about it, it said that if you take a full month of Ultimate, it will convert to 18 days.
Right.
So it's pretty much, you know, I would say a little bit more than half of a month. So if, you know, $14 will equal to 18 days for us, that's probably like half. It's probably going to be like $30 or maybe 30, 35,
35,
30 to
40 bucks.
$40. Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Look.
that's-
Yeah. Boom. All right,
Thank
segment
you.
over. We done figured it out. Look. We done figured it out. So yeah, I can definitely say, yeah, $40. No, definitely no more than 40. That 39.99 just sounds like a sweet
That's
spot.
that's what I said. 39.99. That's going to be
Mm-hmm.
very appealing. They going. That's what they going. They might go a little cheaper, but they might go
Mm-hmm.
25.99.
Sheesh. I'd get it even if it was just me then. Just flex. But hey,
Like, yeah, I could give you one, bro,
yeah, I
but
get it.
I ain't even gonna do all that, dog.
I
You
ain't
ain't
even gonna
worried.
do it. You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna say that
saying?
for my future kids,
Yeah, right.
just in case I have any more.
You silly. But all right, but yeah, that's all I had to say about that. We'll move on to the last topic. Yes, sir.
So,
All right. So the last topic that we're going to go ahead and talk about, um, you know, it was just something like, you know, slow news. Just wanted to go ahead and discuss something that's always been on my mind. It's always been something that we would bring up off camera or either during the podcast, previous podcasts and stuff. The idea, well, not even an idea, it just came to me. I was realizing that it seems like single player games is starting to become like the more dominant, I would, if you consider it a genre, versus multiplayer games. Like I remember at least in the 360 days and in the beginning of last generation, it seems that multiplayer games was the game to have. Like people were like, multiplayer games is what you wanted to have. There was traditionally single player games, and when they would come out, they would have some sort of multiplayer mode because they wanted to, jump on that bandwagon and get some of that cash that was out there with multiplayer games. Now it seems like that's why I said earlier, seems like Sony went ahead and blessed us and showed us that single player games are fun, and that they've been here. We just been so trapped in the multiplayer, the whole, oh, I can verse anybody, oh, I'm the best, oh, just the whole, it being something totally new, instead of just doing 4v4 on couch co-op with your family when they would come over. No, you can play with hundreds of people online every day and, just go up the leaderboards. And so with that being said, I just wanted to talk about, or at least ask Shane the question, since it's him and I on here. But like I know that it seems like single player games are starting to be a big deal, even though multiplayer games like Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty, other genres like that are actually very prominent and doing well for themselves. Like, what do you see yourself playing single player games more now than multiplayer? Was there a time where you just mainly wanted to play multiplayer, or like what is your take on here, before I go ahead and deep dive in it as well?
Uh, well, honestly, man, single player games have always had a special place in my heart. Just because that's pretty much what I grew up on type games. You know what I mean? A lot of single player, story driven games. One of the first games I fell in love with, was Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just on from there, man. And I just fell in love with that experience. And I've always loved a game with a good story element, and especially a creepy, scary, spooky vibe. You know what I mean? I always
Mm-hmm.
like the little jump scares and all that stuff. I liked all that stuff. So, uh, like, I've always had a special place for single player games. But it came a point in time where multiplayer games, came out, and you play a little bit. We played a little bit of them. Something I could think of was back in when Grawl came out. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
any of
Yeah.
y'all played that, but that Grawl, when that first came out and we played that demo, that changed my whole experience and outlook on multiplayer games, bro. Like, we had so much fun. We laughed for days. We played this
Yeah.
demo faithfully, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, I'm sure.
Yeah,
We
yeah, we
played this
have.
demo faithfully. I mean every day for hours, not and it was the same level, the same board,
Map.
the same
The
map
you
every hours. And we loved it. We had a ball just off the demo.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Like,
to clarify, like you didn't progress. It's not like you unlock new weapons. It was a demo to show you what the multiplayer portion of Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was. Like you said, I remember we was, like you said, we were up for hours, for days. It'd be a school night. Your boy was up. We was doing split screen, playing the same junkyard map and it was a demo. Like I said, it was the same map, and and the reason why is because it was a new experience.
experience.
It
Right,
was
right.
the experience. That's what I've been preaching about, with just like how I've been feeling about games lately. Like it seems like the new experiences are far and few in between now. That's why I've been, been going into games I normally wouldn't play, like different genres or indie games, because they are actually willing to try something different to stand out from the AAA games. But anyways, back to your point, like Grawl, like just that multiplayer, like when I look back on multiplayer games, like that is the one that I feel like, dang, it could have been any game, to be honest, any game that we could have had played first on multiplayer, like I'm sure would have captured us that in that way. And the thing about it was, we were buying games during that time, but we did not think to buy the full version of Grawl, not once. Like I don't get it. Like we were buying games and everything, but we was content with the demo. Like, yeah, we gonna get on that Grawl. Yeah. When I get off work, yeah. When I come home from school, I got you. Yeah, we're gonna hop on there. We be sitting there just playing. Like, and it was like Grawl compared to how multiplayer games now, it's like it was so simplistic and so rough. Now it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could we have fallen in love with something like that? It was just a simple fact that it was multiplayer. But continue to go ahead, my brother. My bad. I ain't mean to,
You
but yeah,
good.
I just wanted to share that excitement with you, because yeah, that's definitely a highlight of my gaming experience is the Grawl demo.
But yeah, it came a point in time where multiplayer games, we got a little tasting of them, and everybody was hooked, man. It was hooked, and the game industry noticed this, and so they started making more multiplayer games because that was the wave. And that's what all games were trying to pretty much, like you said, every game started including some type of online mode, some type of multiplayer online mode. Every game, had some type of online mode, whether it was online co-op, online, multiplayer, whatever. So it just took over, and then everybody, other games came out. Everybody started finding games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that. And bruh, it was history. But a guy like me who likes single players always, "Oh, I can't wait for the new Resident Evil to come out. Oh, I can't wait for Metal Gear to drop. Oh, I can't wait for this and that, bruh." I've always been sitting here. I ain't forgot about single player games, man. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
they've always had a special place in my heart. But like I said, it came a point in time where the transition did come. But I'm glad to
Yeah.
see that Sony, shout outs to them that, are still, are setting the budget aside to make these incredible games that they're making. And I haven't played a lot of them, but I watch a lot of reviews. I watch a lot of other people play them, and I can just tell that they're incredible games. And I'm going to play them eventually when I get the time. But I'm just glad that they're doing it, man, because I feel like it was kind of a dying art in a sense, like everybody was going to multiplayer, man, and then battle royale hit, and then now everybody's trying to have some type of battle royale in there. Like it's crazy how the game industry has evolved.
Like it's gotten to a point with
No
multiplayer
pun
games.
intended
I
from
totally.
earlier. The evolve,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh, dang, mad late. People
right.
probably skipping around in the video and it's like, huh? What's going on? I missed that part. But those that did stick around, I appreciate you, man. But anyways, to say what I was going to say with multiplayer games, like it got so like involved with like multiplayer games being the focus that I remember when, I'm sure it wasn't the only game, but the most noteworthy game. It was like when Titanfall, the first one, came out. It was strictly just multiplayer only. You know what I'm saying? Like people was like, what? Like no single player? We're paying $60 just for a online mode? Like, and that's when it was kind of like, oh man, like they were saying, like, people ain't really playing, like they're spending all this money to make a single player game. People play it once and then spend majority of the time playing multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? So studios were thinking like, yeah, we might as well just go ahead and cut this, save us some money in the long run and just focus on the multiplayer. which makes sense. But then again, people started getting there. Oh, it's not a complete game. Oh, I don't just want to continue. Like, it's not a complete game, and you got me paying $60 for it. You know what I'm saying? It should at least be 40 or some, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So it was getting to the point where it was getting bad, to the point where I guess I blame it on it's definitely Sony, because Sony, that was their expertise. And I haven't forgot about single player games either. It was just I was just kind of getting over them because they were all feeling the samey. Like, that was around the same time when every game wanted to be, and it's still that way. Every game wants to be open world RPG. Every game, even
I mean, playing games like Prince of Persia and stuff like that,
yeah, Prince of
bro.
Persia, yeah, playing all of that. I remember playing Freedom Fighters. I remember playing a bunch of story driven games. But now they're story driven and they're single player, but they're open world RPG. Like, even the latest Metal Gear was an open world RPG.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, huh? That's not what Metal Gear was. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, it did well. It reviewed well, and it said it was one of the best Metal Gear games. But I'm just saying, you see how the trend that they went ahead and did,
Right.
and it seems like every game wanted to be that. Assassin's Creed was never like that. Now it's like that. Like, you just look at the trend of the single player RPGs, but try to bring it back. It was like, okay, so there was a moment where multiplayer games is the thing. It still is, but it's just on a whole nother beast. And I blame our generation, or my generation. It's like we're older now. So it's like, yeah, we were into multiplayer. And now, I feel like we're a big majority of gamers. We're like, yeah, I'm not trying to sweat. I'm not trying to get dogged out by these young kids or these people that ain't got no lives or whatever, that continually play this game 24/7. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, give me the linear single player game, something I could just relax, take my time through and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like because that everybody that do voice and say that they hate multiplayers, they're at least my age, around my age or older. You don't see no young little kids saying that they don't like multiplayer games, because that's the thing. You want to play when you're a kid. You want to play with your friends and stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everything. I just wanted to pretty much just talk about this because I just think it's crazy how the tides have changed. There are definitely two genres that's never going away, but I do remember the multiplayer games hitting the console scene was a game changer. And it seemed like it was no turning back from there. But now it's like, oh, okay, you could do a multiplayer game bad now, and there's consequences. So people are starting to invest more in these single player experiences, hoping that people will do multiple playthroughs. And that's why they are doing RPGs and open worlds, so people can do multiple run throughs, do different arcs and stuff, build your character this way, build your character that way, be evil, be good, have multiple playthroughs when it comes to a single player game, versus just playing through it and it's done.
Right.
And you're like, next, you know what I'm saying? So
I beat it. Next.
But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about and discuss that a little bit to see what was on our minds about that topic. But did you have anything else to say about this? Did it spark any ideas or anything that you was wanting to say?
No, that's pretty much it on this. I did have another little tidbit of news I had remembered during the podcast, but other than that,
Okay, yeah, go ahead and shoot.
okay. So, did you hear anything about people being worried about possible console price hikes?
Yeah, didn't we talk about this last podcast?
Did we? Did
Yeah,
we?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's
But
yeah, go ahead.
no, but not but Sony hadn't responded then, had they? They had actually put
Oh
out
no, yeah, nobody responded. No.
right,
Okay,
right.
go
No,
ahead.
Sony was asked a question about it, and they responded, and they kind of dodged it with their answer. They didn't say, like, they asked, is there a possibility of there being any price hikes or whatever? And they pretty much said whatever. I forget exactly what was said, but pretty much whatever they said was they didn't say no, but they didn't say yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
But they definitely didn't say no.
You made me want to look into that because I remember seeing
Yeah,
something about it, like it was saying, like I think a video said, "Is the PlayStation 5 price increase?" Like it showed a picture
yeah,
of PlayStation 5, and I
right,
just I
right.
just never clicked on it. I'm like, man, because people been capping this whole summer, boy. I
No,
tell
but
you.
nah, it's legit. I seen it on a couple of different news sites, and I seen the article too on it. They had an article,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
but
something I'm gonna look into for sure.
I just thought of it though, like not too long ago. So I was like, oh man. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it up though. But they pretty much dodged it, man. So like people been in a frenzy thinking maybe that the prices might possibly go up, and it's all started because of the Meta Quest 2, but price increase.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
it's got me a little worried, But I don't see. I'm not worried about Microsoft increasing it. I don't think Sony will either. They might try, but I just don't think it's a good play for them if they do. You know what I mean? Like I don't
yeah.
think it's going to go over well.
I mean, that's what you were saying when I brought up this question last week on last week's podcast because we talked about the whole Meta Quest 2 and things like that and the price increase. And I
Right,
asked you, I was like, since they increased the prices, do you think consoles will? And you was quick to say nope. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
like
I don't think they will.
you were like, and then I was like, yeah, like I kind of agree because it just doesn't make any sense. But I mean, if
But
it's
with
hard to
Sony dodging the question though, bruh, like they
like
could have just they
they
had
should
a
have said
they
straight
could
up
have just
no,
completely said no, but they
no.
didn't say no. They left it open, like to
Hmm.
be able possibility be able to increase them later and
Yeah.
not be able to go back on their word. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like so they left it open.
That's kind of crazy to
Right. That was a
just
little
think
a little
about
worrisome.
the whole like just the times we're in right now. Like that's
Right.
crazy. Like for you to have to worry about something like that. Now
Right,
it's like, you know
bruh.
what I'm saying? Like,
Like,
I
oh
don't
man,
even know.
is the price gonna go up before I even get a chance to buy one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I haven't
that
even seen one in the wild, let alone
that's crazy. That's crazy to just think about just because I don't even know. Like I said, that's why I asked. I was like, if Oculus think that they can do it, like I'm sure
everybody gonna think they're
if
gonna do
Sony was the leader right now, I bet you they would have did it before Oculus.
it. Right, if they was
I'm just
holding
being
strong.
if they was holding
Yeah,
strong, like straight up, there wasn't this good news surrounding Xbox or anything like that. They'd have been like, yeah, it's hard to come across, and that's why I feel like Xbox is probably taking a major hit because they paid for, remember that leak or rumor or whatever saying that they paid for like chip exclusive like first picks or whatever like that, and they were able to get the chips and in order for them to make more consoles. And
right.
that's why there's been more Xboxes and stuff out there in the wild versus PlayStation, because Xbox went ahead and I guess
Pay for
ma-
chip priority, yeah.
yeah, priority and everything. So like so you already know Xbox was losing money, so I don't think they're going to raise the prices. They just probably slow down on that chip priority thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. I'm definitely gonna have to look into that article or to see exactly them dodging that.
Yeah, they definitely did. They pulled up the response and everything. I seen it. It's legit. Sonny
Mhm.
definitely responded. But yeah. Like I said, I don't know what they said verbatim, but whatever it was, they dodged the question because that's what everybody was talking about saying. But
Mhm.
they could have just said no and made
Yeah.
it clear and simple, but they didn't. And that's what everybody's
Mhm.
hanging on.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
But
You
I
know.
feel like it's a good way to a good little bit of information that ended up on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm
Unless
glad
you
that
got
you.
anything else.
No, definitely not. I'm glad that you brought that up. Because like I said, I seen it, but I just feel like everybody be capping and saying, trust me, outrageous. I've been seeing some outrageous headlines, articles, little pictures, everything. It's just like clickbait. And then you click on it and it's like completely like just some fabricated stuff. So like I seen that and I'm like, oh, price increase, okay. And it was just that one. It wasn't like this person talking about the price increase and this person talking about the price
Yeah, I've
increase and
seen
this
I've seen
person.
at least 3 or 4 different people, and like
Mhm.
some of my main people that I watch talk about it. You know what I mean? So
Okay, maybe I seen it when it was just like people started pumping it out. So I just seen that
right,
one person. Probably I be hating when something like that happened. That's probably what happened. Because I'm probably going to log into YouTube now and see that all kinds of people done made or at least talked about it, shared their thoughts on it and stuff.
right, facts.
So, okay. Yeah, definitely, man. I think that is definitely a good way to end the show. So we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. All right. So, thank you guys for making it to the end of the show. We had fun in discussing, our and sharing our thoughts on what we thought about, Sony pretty much making the comments that they did towards the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. And them pretty much just seeming like they're scared. We went ahead and talked about Xbox Game Pass family plan potentially coming out and what we would like to see if it was a good idea. And mainly we discussed about what the price would be. And we pretty much came down to, we could see it being around $39.99. And then we also talked about a little bit on single player versus multiplayer games, just to see the back and forth with those, gaming, the whole gaming community loving single player games. Then they jumped into loving multiplayer games where every game had to have a multiplayer component. Now it's going back to single player games. And then the little tidbit that Shane talked about, it seems like PlayStation also dodged a bullet or dodged a question pretty much when asked, can they see that if the PlayStation 5 will increase in price concerning the price increase of the Oculus Quest 2. All right. So definitely, man, it was a fun episode. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you really like this content. We're just going to keep pumping out and giving you more and more. We just want to build this little community here. And go ahead and share with your friends. Our audio listeners, go ahead and leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, man. That'll really help us out. If you could, definitely don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Donny Tress, DONNYTR, the number 3S. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. We could discuss and talk about video games, movie, pop culture, everything, sports, what have you. I'm definitely down to talk about it, but it's mainly gaming related for sure. And then don't forget to go ahead and follow the Gamers Anonymous Podcast Twitter page as well. It's down here at the bottom. It's Gamers Anonymous with no E in gamers. All right. I had to take out one letter because it was too big, and I took out the E in gamers. So it's Gamers Anonymous on Twitter. Go ahead and follow us. We're trying to grow that page, so eventually we can start doing some giveaways and things like that. So definitely go ahead and follow. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Shane. Shane, go ahead and let these people know where they can follow you at, man.
First of all, I would like to start off by saying I greatly encourage you all to like and subscribe to the channel. Please smash that like button, man. It'd be greatly appreciated. It definitely helps with the algorithm. We definitely need it. You know, we take all criticism, good, bad, man. We try to improve this show every day that we can. We try to give it our all and give it our best, and we just want to slowly improve and do better, man. And as I always say, we do this not because we have to, but because we love to. You know what
Love
I'm
to do
saying?
it.
So, man, we're gonna be keep rolling this out for y'all because this is what we love to do. We really have a passion for this, man. This is what we do on a regular. If we wasn't doing this here, we'd probably be sitting back talking to each other about these video game topics because that's really what
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah, it's really
So,
what we do. So I was like, we gotta record this and put it
right,
out there.
facts,
So
and that's what got
um
us here. So,
we just want to give you guys good content, you know. But I don't think you shared you know, where they can follow you at.
oh yeah, y'all can follow me. That's at Terp Tech. It's on Twitter. That's at Terp Tech. Feel free to hit me a DM, man. I'm down to play some games on my day off, whatever. You know what I mean? Definitely with it. I take a minute to get back to you and work with me because I'm having a little problems getting into my account right now. I tried to log in yesterday and it was giving me some hassles. So I don't know if it's gonna let me back in today or if I have to do the whole password reset, blah blah blah. But either way, I'm gonna get back in there, so I'm gonna figure that out. But feel free to get at us, man, and please like and subscribe and share the video. No matter what platform you're on, please just give us a comment, let us know what's going on. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, man, take us out, bro.
Yes, sir. You know, it's been fun and it's been real, but of course, until next time, never stop gaming.